Hello, welcome to Cornwall. My name's Andy Paramore, this is Andy's Cornish Creations, and in this video I'm going to be making a clock for Hugh's from Wouldn't It Be Nice, his challenge, his clock challenge, and there's a lot of people out there that's had a go at this one, and a lot of videos, and anyway this is my attempt at one. So hope you enjoy it.
I'm working on the base now. It's a piece of ash about 6 inches in diameter, and at the moment it's 3 inches thick, and when I finish turning it, it will be just under 2 3/4 inches thick.
Don't forget to put it back in the car.
That was my dad, 91, just reminding me to put something away. This is the mortise that's on the bottom of the base, and it'll stay there because you won't see it when it's finished. Here I'm putting the detail on the base. I'm working from a picture with all the dimensions on it, and I just keep referring to the picture that's to scale. Oh, there's Ivy just on the floor there. We haven't seen her on a video for a while. This mark that I've just put on, that's the finished height of the base. Here you can see the knot flew out of the edge, and I couldn't find it. So I decided to use some UV resin to fill it. I think it was a good idea, except for the fact that I put some black mica colouring in it, and what I didn't think about was the fact that the black stopped the UV light from the torch reaching the inside of the resin, so it had a bit of a problem with it, and it didn't set the whole way down, but I figured it out in the end, but I didn't film it all. Here I've turned the base round, flattened the top off, and just put in a little dimple in the middle, a bit of detail. I think there's a line around it as well. I'm sanding up to 400 grit, applying some abrasive paste, and then some French polish, and it comes up quite nicely. This is the top of the clock, so where I am now I've done exactly the same as I did on the base. The design's exactly the same. It's also got the mortise in the bottom. You'll see what happens with that later. But the only difference is the very top. It sweeps up to where the finial is at the top, and that's the only difference between the base and the top, apart from the fact that the top is a little bit narrower in diameter than the base is. This is the finial on the top of the clock that I'm working on. I think it's a piece of Iroko that I'm using. I'm not sure, it's a waste piece from somewhere. And when I've finished turning and sanding it up to about 400 again, I will put some I'll put some wood dye on it, wood stain. I think it's a dark oak I think I use, and just to make it look a bit more of a rich colour, and it works quite well. Here I'm making the pillars. There's 4 pillars on the clock, and they've all got to be pretty much exactly the same. You notice there I've used a spanner, and what I've done with that is sharpened one of the edges, the shorter edge, and put a sharp point on it, and if you hook the long edge underneath the piece and let the cutting edge cut into it until it feeds into the size of the spanner, you get an exact size every time to the spanner. So I've got doing these pillars, I've got four different size spanners for each depth that I need to go, and it does make it a lot easier to keep the pillars consistent. Providing you get your measurements right, it should work out. Again, we're sanding up to 400 grit and then applying some stain just to darken it up, and then the abrasive paste and French polish, and then repeat 4 times to get the 4 pillars. we're back to a piece of ash now, and this makes the piece that fits underneath the top of the clock, and it's there sort of suspended underneath, and underneath that will be the sort of clock face, or the piece of wood that holds the clock face, which I'm going to connect them together with a piece of M6 threaded bar. Turned a tenon on one side of it, and turned it over, parted off the waste block, and then shaping it. The tenon will go up into the top piece of the clock, and then it will taper down to the piece of wood that holds the clock face. And this is how it fits together. The tenon goes into the mortise on the bottom, that way, and then I'll drill through there and fix the clock up to it. Here, turning the feet that go underneath the base, so the little ball, squashed ball feet with their 10mm tenon on the top, that will fit into corresponding holes on the underside of the base. And of course there'll be 4 of those to make. This is the piece of wood that the clock face is going to be fitted into. And you just need to round off the edges, and then put a tenon on in the middle to take the clock mechanism. Sand up to 400 and apply the abrasive paste, or the stain, and the abrasive paste and the French polish, and then I can turn it round and finish the back off. Here the back's holding on with just a friction fit onto the waste block, and a piece of wood there just pressing against it, and then I'll just put a little dimple in the back of that as well. I put a little line and burnt a line on that edge. I was having a bit of trouble getting a nice transition between the front and back. There weren't a lot of room there, so the line sort of broke it up. And there's a little dimple in the back, and again sand and polish. And that's that piece done. Oh, I've just got to drill a hole through to take the 6mm rod, and here I'm starting to fit fit it together. I made a little jig to try and keep the pillars square and vertical. Otherwise, if they were leaning at all, it'd all look all over the place. Where the little jig worked very well, actually. And it was a bit of a job aligning the holes from the top and the bottom. These are the feet going on. Nice and simple, that bit. And fitting the lid on. Yeah, I did take a bit of messing about with trying to get the holes aligned, but it went well in the end. And then just the finial on top. And then fixing these two pieces together. I did use a bolt in the end, which worked nicely. Then fixed into the mortise that I'd left in the bottom of the top piece, and then slot the mechanism in, and that's it.
There we have it. I've completed my clock. It's been a bit of an epic. It's been a very challenging one for me because it's much more involved than I've done in the past. But it's turned out well, and I hope you think so as well. There we go. I'll put some pictures up at the end, but anyway, that's my contribution to Hugh's clock challenge. Hope you like it. It's certainly been a lot of work, but I've enjoyed making it on the whole, and yeah, it's been really interesting. So anyway, check out the rest of the videos if you haven't already, and also check out Hugh's channel. He's just got above 900 subscribers now, so I think if everybody out there gives him a mention, perhaps put a link in their videos, and we'll try and get Hugh to that 1K mark that I think most woodturners like to get to. That it makes a big difference, and he's nearly there, and it just needs a little push. And if everybody just makes a bit of an effort and has a look over at Hugh's channel and subscribes, then I don't think it'll be very long before he gets there. So please do that. Also, if you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to mine, and again, thank you to all my existing subscribers. If you can, leave a comment. I will reply to all the comments, and I do enjoy getting them. So anyway, from here in Cornwall, it's getting a bit late now. I'll put some pictures up at the end, some sort of close-ups and what have you. And anyway, from here in Cornwall, my name's Andy Paramore. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.